Hello everyone, this is Amanda with the Live Coin Q&A. The year 2023 has officially come to an end, and in that year, a lot of our viewers have submitted some amazing finds, and we featured all of those finds on our live show. But in this video, we're going to take a look at 30 of the best finds our viewers had for the year 2023, because I think that's going to be a very good way to kick off the year 2024. So let's get right into it. We're starting this video off at number 30. This 2000p Sacagawea dollar was submitted by an anonymous viewer, and we previously featured this coin on our March 6th, 2023 live show. I know the reverse image does give the appearance of a clipped planchet, but the area was just cut off in the original photo that we were provided. When looking at this coin, our focus was on the reverse, because this is what is commonly referred to as a wounded eagle. This is a die gouge that runs through the eagle's body just below the breast. The Cherry Picker's Guide lists this as the FS901 and nicknames it the Speared Eagle, but Wounded Eagle has proven to be the more popular nickname for this well-placed die gouge. Number 29 is actually a token and not a coin. This token was submitted by Kevin, who lives in Snohomish County in Washington State. He found this token while metal detecting at a lake near his home. This is a trade token for the 1925 showing of the movie Gold Rush at Brown's Theater. The movie was directed and produced by Charlie Chaplin. While the actual value of this token might not be a large amount, this is a phenomenal find as far as being a piece of local history for the area that Kevin lives in. We originally featured this token on our September 11th, 2023 live show. Number 28 is a 2021p Tuskegee Airman quarter that was submitted by Willie G. We featured this coin on our May 15th, 2023 show. As you can clearly see, this coin has an extremely noticeable strike through on the reverse. And the best part is, I don't think the placement of this strike through could have gotten any better. It gives the appearance that this building is going up in flames. It's a very cool one. Number 27 was submitted by EMR Coins and was featured on our November 20th live stream. This is a 1965 Washington quarter with a very strong die clash. This die clash is not currently listed on madddieclashes.com. Number 26 was submitted by Rich H. This is a 2007p Roosevelt dime, and as you can see, there is a very large die break on the reverse. This one is actually listed on cudsoncoins.com as a shattered die. Coin number 25 was featured on our October 2nd live stream and was submitted by Ant2242. I think during the show we came to the conclusion that this appears to be a 1960 large date. This Lincoln Memorial cent weighs 1.6 grams, which is about half as much as it should weigh. This coin was struck on a planchet that split before strike. This is basically the equivalent of a large lamination, which caused the planchet to split and break apart before being struck. This also resulted in some design elements being weakly struck or missing completely. Coin number 24 was featured on our August 14th live stream, and it was submitted by Diggin' Dave. This 1983 Lincoln Memorial cent is a doubled die obverse and is listed in the Cherry Picker's Guide as the FS101. The doubling is most noticeable on Liberty and In God We Trust. Coin number 23 was featured on our May 1st live stream, and it was also submitted by Diggin' Dave. This 1980 Lincoln Memorial cent is a doubled die obverse, and it is listed in the Cherry Picker's Guide as the FS101. This variety includes some very strong doubling that you can see on the date and on Liberty. Coin number 22 was featured on our April 3rd live stream, and it was submitted by Amber W. This 1997 Lincoln Memorial cent is a doubled die obverse. Specifically, this is a well-known doubled ear. This variety is listed in the Cherry Picker's Guide as the FS101. As you can see, the doubling gives the appearance that Lincoln has an extra earlobe. Coin number 21 was featured on our April 10th live stream, and it was submitted by Sam F. This 1994 Lincoln Memorial cent is a doubled die reverse. This variety is listed in the Cherry Picker's Guide as the FS801. The doubling is seen within the last 3 columns of the memorial, and the doubling appears as 2 extra columns. Coin number 20 was featured on our October 9th live stream, and this coin was submitted by Jackalope Herdmaster. This is an 1845 seated Liberty half dime, and it also happens to have a repunched date. You can see the repunching clearly on all 4 of the digits. Coin number 19 was featured on our February 20th live stream, and it was submitted by Michael A. This 1976 D bicentennial quarter is a doubled die obverse. The variety is listed in the Cherry Picker's Guide as the FS101. You can see there's some very strong doubling on Liberty, and this variety is also known to have some minor doubling on In God We Trust and the date when found on an earlier die state example. I'm not sure if this example we had submitted had the minor doubling visible, because we didn't have any close-up photos of those areas that it would affect. Coin number 18 was featured on our February 6th live stream, and it was submitted by Chase R. This 1960 Proof Strike Lincoln Memorial cent is a tripled die obverse, and is known for being a large date over small date. This variety is listed as the FS103 in the Cherry Picker's Guide. This variety also has doubling that is visible on In God We Trust and Liberty. Unfortunately, we didn't have a good photo of Liberty, but we could determine this was the FS103 from the photos that were provided. Coin number 17 was featured on our January 16th live stream, and it was submitted by Jose B. This 1878 Carson City Morgan dollar has been cleaned at some point, but it ended up being a VAM 6, which is in the top 100 list on VAM World. This VAM features a doubled ear and doubled leaves, with the Carson City mint mark almost touching the wreath on the reverse. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find close-ups of the ear, but there was one close-up photo of the leaves. Coin number 16 was featured on our February 13th live stream, and it was submitted by Diggin' Dave. This 1969D quarter had weighed in at 4.2 grams, and the normal weight for a 1969D Washington quarter would have been 5.67 grams, or somewhere around in there. You can also see the strike on both the obverse and the reverse is rather weak, and it turned out this quarter was struck on dime stock. This means when the mint employees were in the process of making planchets intended for quarters, a coil used for dime planchets was inserted into the blanking press. This resulted in these quarter planchets having the normal diameter of a quarter, while at the same time having the thickness of a dime. This is more common to see on 1970D Washington quarters, so it was nice to see this error on a 1969D. In an odd turn of events, after Dave had this coin graded by Anax, he was selling it on one of his Whatnot auctions. I happened to be watching, and I ended up buying this coin to add to my own collection. Coin number 15 was featured on our October 23rd live stream, and it was submitted by Randy K. This 1943 P. Jefferson nickel is a doubled die obverse and is listed in the Cherry Picker's Guide as the FS106. This variety features doubling that is most noticeable on the eye, with doubling also being seen on the date and on Liberty. Coin number 14 was originally featured on our March 27th live stream, and it was submitted by Diggin' Dave. This 1992 D. Lincoln Memorial cent is a close AM. In regards to 1992 Philadelphia and Denver minted Lincoln Memorial cents, close AM refers to examples that bear the reverse design that was intended for 1993 Lincoln Memorial cents. The Cherry Picker's Guide lists these as the FS901. Dave gave us an update later after we originally featured this coin. He submitted this coin to PCGS, and it did come back as AU details cleaned. Coin number 13 was originally featured on our June 5th live stream, and it was submitted by David C. At first glance, this might look like a normal 1939 Jefferson nickel, but this is actually a counterfeit. This counterfeit Jefferson nickel was produced by Francis Leroy Henning. Henning is known to have produced counterfeit Jefferson nickels bearing the years 1939, 1944, 1946, 1947, and 1953. Some examples of these Henning counterfeit nickels have a looped R in pluribus, which is a defect from the reverse die that was used. Not all examples have this, but this 1939 that we looked at does have the looped R. Examples with the looped R tend to weigh slightly more than 5 grams, and this example weighed in at 5.1 grams. Henning counterfeits also tend to have a porous look to their surface. Skipping ahead to coin number 12 because this one kind of ties into the last one. This coin was featured on our June 19th live stream. This 1953 nickel was originally submitted to us by Lee M. This coin was suspected of being a Henning counterfeit, and Paula ended up getting Joe Cronin to take a look at it. He confirmed that this was indeed a 1953 Henning counterfeit nickel, with 1953 being the hardest year to find for these counterfeits. That stream was very informative, and Joe Cronin actually gave some good tips on identifying Henning nickels and explained a new diagnostic to look for. I'm going to include a link to that stream in the description of this video, and if you haven't watched it, you want to make sure to check that out. After looking at those two Henning counterfeit nickels, I do want to mention that Joe Cronin has announced that he has written a book called the Henning Nickels Collector's Guide, and it will be released in February. I'm sure you'll hear more about this book from us as it gets closer to the release time. This is really exciting since there aren't many good resources available on Henning nickels. Moving on to coin number 11. This coin was originally featured on our March 27th live stream, and it was submitted by Jason S. This is a large date 1970S Lincoln Memorial cent, and it is a doubled die obverse. This variety is listed in the Cherry Picker's Guide as the FS101, and this one is highly sought after. There is extremely strong doubling on Liberty, which you can kind of see in this photo even though it is blurry. There is also extremely strong doubling on In God We Trust, as well as on the date. Coin number 10 was originally featured on our March 13th live stream, and it was submitted by Diggin' Dave. This 1988 D. Lincoln Memorial cent actually has the reverse of 1989. This is a sought-after transitional design variety, as this reverse design didn't see continuous use until 1989. The Cherry Picker's Guide lists this as the FS901. A few months after we featured this coin on our show, Dave did send us an update, and he sent this coin to PCGS, and it graded as an MS66. Coin number 9 was originally featured on our January 2nd live stream, and it was submitted by Julie B. This 1997 D Lincoln Memorial cent is a double struck in collar with some rotation. The less visible details that I have pointed out with arrows are portions of the first initial strike, and the more well-struck details are from the secondary strike. This is a very nice error to see on a more modern Denver minted Lincoln cent. Coin number 8 was featured on our September 18th live stream, and it was submitted by Tommy N. This 2009 D District of Columbia quarter is a doubled die reverse. The main pickup for this variety is the extra ELL in Ellington that's dropping down underneath. There is also doubling on a couple of the piano keys, as well as doubling on Ellington's left hand and upper left arm. The Cherry Picker's Guide lists this variety as the FS 801. Coin number 7 was originally featured on our August 21st live stream, and it was submitted by Rich. This coin is a double denomination dated 1980, and it technically has a face value of 11 cents. This is a 1980 Lincoln cent that has been struck over an already struck 1980 Roosevelt dime. It's definitely not something you see every day. Coin number 6 was originally featured on our February 6th live stream, and it was submitted by BMP 804. This 1986 $5 American Gold Eagle has very strong clashing visible on both the obverse and the reverse. On the obverse you can see part of E Pluribus Unum and also In God We Trust. Then on the reverse, I'm fairly certain that this clashing is part of Lady Liberty's dress. About 3 months after we featured this coin, BMP 804 sent us an update because he sent this coin to PCGS. It came back as an MS-69. We don't get many gold coins submitted to us, and a large majority of collectors don't really check bullion type coins for errors or varieties, so this was a fun one to look at. Coin number 5 was originally featured on our February 13th live stream, and it was submitted by Anthony F. He found this amazing oddity of a Lincoln wheat cent while he was metal detecting. As you can see, the coin is silver in color, and the last digit of the date is cut off, along with a few other design elements. We're also able to see that this coin has a Denver mint mark. He took this coin to his local coin shop, and they did verify that it was silver. When he weighed the coin, it weighed in at 1.82 grams. Someone looking at this for the first time might think it might have been struck on a silver dime planchet, but the weight and diameter of the coin suggested differently. Throughout the 1940s, when this coin was minted, the U.S. mints were producing a large amount of coins for other countries. Upon researching, the only type of planchet that matched both weight-wise and diameter-wise was a Philippines 10 centavos, and that is what our panel believed that this was struck on, was a Philippines 10 centavos planchet. Anthony submitted the coin to PCGS, and he sent us an update a few months later. It was designated as a mint error, struck on Philippines 10 centavos planchet, and was graded genuine with AU details. To be honest, this was one of my personal favorites that we were able to feature on the show in 2023. Coin number 4 was originally featured on our January 9th live stream, and it was a coin I came across while looking at Joe Cronin's Mint Errors Explained Facebook group. Tyrone K. was the one who posted this coin, and he was kind enough to give us permission to share it on our show. This is a 2021 American Silver Eagle with a Type 1 reverse. We only have a few photos, but this Silver Eagle has a very strong die clash. This is similar to the $5 Gold Eagle we looked at earlier in the sense that it is a bullion coin, and most people who just stack don't look for things like this on their bullion type coins. This coin was graded by NGC at an MS-69. Coin number 3 was originally featured on our May 22nd live stream, and it was submitted by Tracy H. This is a 1943 still cent, and as you can see, it looks perfectly normal on one side, and it has some crazy stuff going on with the other side. This is a full mirror obverse brockage, and I'm going to let Paula tell you how this error occurred.
What happened was a coin got struck, and then for whatever reason, it got stuck in the collar. It stayed in the collar, and another planchet was fed on top of it. And that struck coin then became the die, one side of the die. So in this case, it was the obverse of the struck coin that struck the reverse of this coin. And that's why you have the mirror image of it.
We received an update from Tracy a few months later. She submitted the coin to PCGS, and it received a grade of MS63. Coin number 2 was originally featured on our November 6th live stream, and it was submitted by Alex. This is an extremely rare and scarce 1969 large date Canadian dime. At the time of filming this video, I think there are less than 20 of these known to officially exist. For educational purposes, I'm including an image which shows both a large date and a small date. As you can see on the large date, the numbers are much more rounded and are also larger in comparison to the small date. There are many fakes known to exist, including some 1968 Canadian dimes that have been altered to make the 8 look like a 9. Many of our panel members looked at this closely, and we couldn't see any evidence of this one being an altered 1968. There were also a couple experts who looked at it, including Ken Potter. They thought it also looked legitimate. I think we did have one person who disagreed with the legitimacy, but Alex ended up sending this coin to ICCS, which is the International Coin Certification Service. They are a well-known Canadian grading service and are known for being very thorough. Without a doubt, this was the best grading service Alex could have chosen for the coin. He got the coin back from ICCS, and they did give it the large date designation, as well as a grade of very fine 30. We have no reason to doubt the authenticity due to ICCS backing this coin. This was also one of my favorites that we were able to feature in 2023 because we don't get very many Canadian coin submissions, much less a coin of this magnitude. Closing out the countdown with coin number 1, I was torn between choosing this coin and the Canadian dime for the top spot. This coin was originally featured on our February 20th live stream and was submitted by Jesse M. This is a 1969S Lincoln Memorial cent, and most of you probably don't need a close-up photo to see what's going on with this coin. This is the highly sought-after FS101 doubled die obverse. There is extremely strong doubling on the date, liberty, and in God we trust. It's always amazing to see someone pull one of these amazing doubled dies out of the wild. This one is pretty heavily circulated, but even in this condition it could command a nice premium. Unfortunately, we don't have an update from Jesse, so we don't know if this coin was ever sent in for grading or if it might have been sold. Alright, that ended up being a pretty fun video to put together, and I hope you all enjoyed it. From myself and the rest of the live coin Q&A panel, we want to wish all of you a happy new year. We hope all of you have some amazing finds and discoveries in 2024. And I think for me, one of my goals is I want to be half as lucky as Diggin' Dave was with his finds in 2023. I think 4 or 5 of the coins in this video were submitted by Diggin' Dave, and that wasn't even scratching the surface of everything he submitted to us this year. And I can't even believe how much stuff he finds. He's extremely lucky, and I hope to at least find half as much stuff as he found in 2023. I'm going to start off 2024 really optimistic with high hopes. As always, if you have a question about a coin or a piece of paper currency, make sure you send your question and your clear photos to our email info@livecoinqa.com, and we'll be glad to help you with your question.